They look like fruit-flavored pills, sugary gummies, and imitation ice cream cones. But these products contain a chemical compound commonly known as 7-OH. They're sold legally at gas stations and convenience stores, often marketed as a natural supplement. But there's no sugar coating the potential danger. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. The Food and Drug Administration warns 7-OH could drive the next wave of the opioid crisis.
7-OH is a concentrated byproduct of kratom, a tropical tree native to Southeast Asia. Kratom's leaves are dried or powdered and used in teas or capsules. According to the Mayo Clinic, at lower doses, kratom can act as a stimulant, making the user feel more alert. At high doses, it's more like a sedative, and users claim it reduces pain and anxiety. The FDA says 7-OH products are concentrated derivatives, often falsely marketed as kratom. While the two are connected, addiction experts say 7-OH carries far stronger effects and higher risks of dependency.
Investigative reporter Grace Runkle takes an in-depth look at 7-OH and shares how it left a father in South Carolina struggling with an addiction he says nearly killed him.
For Brendan Burke, it wasn't about getting high.
It was literally just for sleep.
He's one of millions of Americans who struggle with insomnia, so he turned to a South Carolina wellness shop to try to find relief.
In the wellness shop specifically, it was in the sleeping section. It was a sleeping, anxiety, focus. That was the selling points.
The pills in the package were 7-OH, commonly advertised as concentrated or synthetic kratom.
It looks nice. They did a really good job with the marketing and the packaging on it, big old tangerine picture and chewable.
At first, Brendan said the tablets did help him sleep, but he quickly felt like he needed more.
It just started creeping up at one point in time where I don't even know how I got from an eighth to a whole package in a day.
When he tried to cut back, he started having body aches and sweating, symptoms of withdrawal.
I wasn't really prepared for how strong it had a hold of me at the time. I knew that there was something wrong.
Less than 9 weeks after starting the tablets, Brendan was struggling to escape the drug's grip, so he quit. Cold turkey. 60 hours later, he had a seizure.
I feel like I got hit by a train. That's how hard I seized. Like every muscle, every fiber of my body hurt from that. And that's when I started asking for help.
So Brendan checked himself into the emergency room and ended up in the ICU. Lying in a hospital bed, he says facing his daughter was worse than the pain of withdrawal.
She just looked at me and saw. I could tell in her eyes. She looked disappointed. I wouldn't want anybody else's kids to have them see them like that. It's easy to see how, if I didn't have a reason to fight, this could easily destroy my life.
Thinking about her safety, his pain turned to anger.
This stuff is just sitting in arm's reach from her. The average person walking in there looking for something to help them with sleep, stress, focus, anything is not going to know.
7-OH is made of concentrated mitragynine, a compound found in only trace amounts in whole leaf kratom. Unlike natural kratom, it's an opioid-like substance and it has a high potential for abuse, something you can't necessarily tell by looking at the box.
Just imagine that you have morphine, but you're going to be selling it and you put it in sugar-encrusted gummies. A lot of the products are fruit-flavored, some are mint-flavored, a lot of the products are brightly colored. Some products have mascots that are associated with them, and all of those things look like the candy that's to the left and to the right of where they're selling the products in the gas station.
Dr. White says you can't predict how opioids will affect you, and it's why you should talk to your doctor before you try a new medication or supplement.
It can really sneak up on you. Just because you can handle this other product or you can handle this other ingredient and that you generally did well doesn't mean that when you try an opioid, you're not going to be susceptible to having an opioid-related issue. And if you do, it can literally ruin your life.
Brendan admits he should have spent more time researching what he was putting in his body. But thinks manufacturers and stores selling the products have a responsibility too.
I have to take accountability for my own actions. I made a mistake. That was dumb. I really should have spent some more time looking into it.
The Phoenix Center, an addiction treatment facility in Greenville, said Brendan is not alone.
A lot of times when something is readily available, people assume that it's safe, just like alcohol. So it is important that we provide education that just because this is available in smoke shops and gas stations does not mean it's automatically safe. It is not FDA approved.
They're seeing increasing numbers of people coming in for addiction to drugs marketed as Kratom.
Kratom has been around for over 10 years, but definitely in the last 3 to 5 years, we've seen an increase.
Brendan is working with his doctor on a treatment plan and taking Suboxone, a medication prescribed for opioid addiction. It's a habit he never meant to form, which is why he's warning others to stop them from getting hooked.
If any good can come from this, I suppose it'll be worth it. And something's got to come from it. Somebody's kid's got to not take this. Somebody's dad's got to not take this for it to make any sense to me as to why it happened to me. That's why I'm here telling you what happened.
In July 2025, the FDA issued warning letters to 7 companies it says were illegally marketing 7-OH products, including the maker of 7-Tabs, the brand Brendan says he took. The letter requested a written response within 15 working days, outlining specific steps the companies have taken to correct any violations. We reached out to 7-Tabs, but we have not received a response. In Greenville, South Carolina, I'm Grace Runkle.
During that same month, the FDA pushed for a ban on 7-OH, calling it highly addictive and unregulated.
Todd Underwood is the president and CEO of MIT Wellness, which makes and markets products containing Kratom. He says unlike 7-OH, the goods his company sells are all natural. Underwood agrees with federal public health officials who have called for a total ban on 7-OH.
Something we could easily do. It's something we refuse to do. Personal accountability comes into play here.